Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to a live, unfiltered episode of Honest Trailer Commentaries.
Gonna get raw.
Yeah, you feel that edge? Because we're talking about the edge of tomorrow. Honest Trailer is on Screen Junkies right now. Go watch it, come back here, and watch us watch it, and give you our behind-the-scenes thoughts about the film. We also have Q&A with you, the fans, so put those questions in the chat to my left or right. Depending on what hemisphere you're in. And then
That's how it helps.
We'll also show you outtakes, and then we'll tease you with a clue for next week's Honest Trailer. Let's dive right in. Edge of Tomorrow. It's a good film. Liked it.
It's a good film. Yeah, I like this one.
Gosh, I was looking up Doug Liman's filmography. That guy.
Up and
He's
down.
had some ups and downs.
Up and down, yeah.
Man, it was such a hot start with Swingers, Go, Born.
Yeah, I feel like
that's an awesome start.
He also doesn't get his flower. Swingers is so commonly now remembered as the Favreau Vince Vaughn kickoff.
Yeah.
I think people forget that it was also Doug Liman.
No, there's like some real
debut.
Direction going on in there. It doesn't look like a TV show. It looks like a movie.
It really looks like an indie, like a film.
Yeah. So great start. Go is fantastic.
Underrated.
A lot of people you don't recall show up in Go.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I feel like that was the first time Timothy Olyphant stuck out to me.
Oliphant.
Where I was like, that guy's good. When's he going to be in more stuff?
What's her name? The Ursula. Something McCarthy.
Oh, Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy's in Go. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
There's some great. So, anyways,
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow is great. We were just
Jumping over Mr. and Mrs. Smith directly to Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Tom Cruise. Like this is probably one of his best films. Top five.
You know what I think?
This is probably his fifth best film, I would say.
I feel like you need a guy like a Cruise who's so dedicated to story and confident in his own presence, because this is not a character I feel like most movie stars would want to play. 'Cause he's a coward. He's AWOL. He's trying to get out of his military service. That's why every other character in the movie is coming down on him so hard. And I feel like that's a thing. Like, we always hear about The Rock and Vin Diesel and all these guys. Like, I have to look so tough. Like, I have to get this many punches in, and I have to win all my fights, and I have to like be the archetypal hero the whole time. And I love that Cruise is like, yeah, I'll be like kind of a scumbag who learns his lesson.
I'd say that like with A Few Good Men and like Jerry Maguire, I guess he's not afraid to play like a sniveling weasel at the beginning of a film.
Exactly.
Who grows? Character growth.
Because he knows that, I'm going to arc, and I'm Tom Cruise, so I will sell you on this arc, and by the end you will love me anyway, even though I'm kind of a skis in the beginning. Yeah. And I really admire the confidence of that.
When you combine that with the premise of the time loop, and I think they use that really effectively to basically, as we say, like cut all the fluff and extraneous information out of what generally slows down an action movie, and they just get to the good parts. They just get to the funny part. They use it. It's funnier than I remembered.
Yes.
There's a lot of times where they use the time loop premise like to get laughs of like squishing him via a truck.
The editing and the pacing of it is really good, and they use the time loop stuff very effectively as a punchline a lot. And I really like how they knowingly kind of skip over all the really gratuitous scenes you'd get in a movie like this. Like, they know we're anticipating them, and they jump over them purposefully. Like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie is there's this whole conversation about, they're going to have to break into Whitehall, this like British military installation, and go, break into the general's office because they've got to convince him of their plan, and he's not going to want to see them. And you know every other movie how you would do that. We got a montage.
We have the diagrams. They roll out the blueprints.
All right, so the guard here. We got to go here. Then you're on
maybe
electrical.
Maybe they're intercutting it with it, like doing the prep work and like scouting it out.
And they very purposely you smash cut to Cruise and Emily Blunt walking up to the building. He's already done.
It's like his 10,000th try.
Right. He's Groundhog Dayed it through and learned everything that happened. So he's just going through and like, wait 2 seconds. Okay, now we proceed. And you get to skip all the stuff, the gratuitous stuff that we know what would happen anyway. And it's like, man, that is effective storytelling.
That's really good.
Upend my expectations like that and jump to the good stuff.
Very, very tight script by Chris McQuarrie. Yeah.
McHugh, as he's called so frequently.
McHugh versus McG. What Mick do you have?
Well, McG, that was like, I don't know that guy's real name. Like, he's just McG.
I thought that was it.
Yeah, like he was born he was just born to the McGees. They were like, no first name. He's just McG. But no, he's Christopher McQuarrie. He goes by McHugh because I guess Christopher McQuarrie is a long name.
trying to think of is Ian McKellen McKay?
McKay.
Yeah.
That's what I would call him if I knew him.
Oh,
for sure.
Adam McKay. Can we say McKay, McHugh, McG? Movie fight.
Yes.
Sound off in the comments below.
Number 1, McHugh. Number 2,
McKay or McG. I don't know.
I might go McG on that one. I don't know, man.
Weirdly, McG and
Has Adam
Doug Lyman both did early episodes of The OC.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. I think if you cut off McKay before things got too serious, like if it was
He
just
said,
Step Brothers, Talladega McKay,
of course.
I put him up. Yes, he beats McG. But if you're including Don't
Big
Look
Short,
Up,
Cheney, Don't Look Up. Yeah. All right, let's watch Edge of Tomorrow. That's a movie we all like.
yeah, there you go.
You've seen the time loop premise work well for comedies, horror, or really anything. But it turns out, when you try to Groundhog Day an action flick, that usually kicks ass too.
Reload.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Pause.
Before Chris
for a
McQuarrie
second.
made it his lifelong...
Source code, very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it until it kind of runs out of steam, I feel like.
There's a train pun right there.
I didn't even mean to do that. But yeah, I don't.
Looper, very good.
Looper, I like.
Boss Level, I haven't seen, but
I like.
people seem to like it. So I
Boss
threw it
Level
on there.
actually is. It's mostly Grillo. I like Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
Is very fun to watch in a premise like that. He's both got a lot of personality and he's like believable in the action stuff. So I think
And you have Mel going full Mel. You get the full Mel.
that's a lot of Mel.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Mel. But yeah, so I feel like more so in that case than the cleverness of it is just because that really is just pure video game rules. Like it's purely like he just respawns from the save point.
Yeah.
And like go. So it's less clever than this one, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, just as a template for action or horror or comedy, it seems to be just a narrative trick to get rid of anything you don't want to put in your movie because you can skip it. It's
it
great.
lets you just jump around to like the fun stuff, and it's a good it's a good setup for like a setup punchline kind of editing. And
Is
like,
there any genre that has not been subjected to the time loop premise yet?
I'm going to go like historical biopic. I don't feel like we haven't gotten like the
Buddha?
Chevalier.
I don't know. How do you?
The
is it
Chevalier?
reincarnation?
Amadeus hasn't gotten stuck in a time. loop.
Well, not historical, but that Wachowski movie where Tom Hanks plays everyone.
Cloud Atlas?
Yeah, Cloud
That's not
Atlas.
a biopic.
It's kind of like a time loop, man.
Those are different stories happening at different points in time, but they're all
right, fine.
connected through mysterious, ethereal ways.
Okay, keep going.
Before Chris McQuarrie made it his lifelong goal to kill Tom Cruise on the job, Doug Lyman made a half-assed go of it in Edge of Tomorrow. The ultimate movie for people who love Tom Cruise or hate Tom Cruise.
I think I broke something. Oh, hold on. Listen. I can still feel my toe. Okay, do it.
In this underrated gem that goes by Lived I Repeat on DVD, but is actually based on the Japanese manga, All You Need Is Kill. Come on, movie. You've got mech suits, buster swords, and a tentacle monster. Embrace your anime-ass self. Now all you need is a mad scientist who's there to do the exposition and give you the hero's magic MacGuffin they can use to...
You stick it into the alpha and it taps into the wavelength connecting it to the omega.
Ah, so does Nay.
So
Tom
pause.
Cruise is...
That's the thing that people know about this movie is like the name kept changing.
Right.
Edge of Tomorrow, it's not a bad name, but
I mean, I get it, but All You Need Is Kill is so much better. I don't know why you would change All You Need Is Kill to Edge of Tomorrow. It's less interesting.
yeah, it is interesting in that it doesn't fully read as grammatically correct.
Oh, it does not at all, but I think that's what's fun about it.
Okay. Yeah, so I wonder why they swapped it out because I guess it must have underperformed given their expectations. They were like, okay, well, let's change the name for just the video release. Like,
I think when the movie came out, it underperformed in theaters, and I think that that became like people didn't know what Edge of Tomorrow meant, or it was obscure, it didn't make sense, or whatever, and so I think, I think that got the blame, but I don't think that was probably what actually was at fault.
Yeah, titles are tough, and this is why they just gave up and made every movie based on a product you've heard of. Because it's hard to say what the movie's about in a single word or three.
Now it would just be like Tom Cruise :
Tom
the
Cruise.
one with aliens.
That probably do better.
From the book of Tom Cruise Going to War, Part 1.
Honestly, Tom Cruise is IP at this point,
Yeah.
so it should just be Tom Cruise, movie.
That's what I saw people were talking about. Like, well, Indiana Jones underperformed, and like people thought after Top Gun Maverick, like all these old legacy sequels would do well. And it's like, yeah, but I don't know if Indiana Jones, the brand identity is not strong in 2023. Whereas Tom Cruise, the brand identity is extremely strong.
They didn't read the room. These boomers. If they had done The Mummy again with Brendan Fraser, that's at least $500 million.
Yeah, I think
and that would cost less than $500 million.
You're 35 plus at this point if you still care about Indy.
If you still care about Indy, sorry,
everybody.
Yeah.
I'm in that group. Don't blame me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to see it, but
I did. I liked it.
Okay. Let's keep going.
William Cage, a member of the Army's elite corporate fluff brigade.
Lost my advertising firm. Here I am.
He's facing every American's worst nightmare. Waking up somewhere unfamiliar and everyone is talking European.
Los suministros cierran en 10 minutos.
Chilling.
In 10 Minuten geschlossen.
But when his face gets melted with alien time goo, he'll be stuck reloading from the same save state over and over again. Watch as he gets a little bit better every time at avoiding work.
Well, pause. In thinking about this more, I'm finding it a little hard to believe that Tom Cruise didn't find a loop where he just got off the base and like went to a pub or whatever and just like didn't die. Because if you don't die, the loop is over.
Yeah, he has to die to restart it.
So we're saying that this sniveling PR army coward didn't find any time frame where he just found a way off the base to like go sit in a bar and like not get shot in the head and go to bed sometime.
Right, but no, I think it can keep going beyond 24. There's no like cutoff. Like if it was 3 more days and then he died, it would go restart.
Really?
I think so.
I thought, but if he survives like past 24 hours, if he doesn't die,
it's if he gets hurt and then something fucks up his blood, messes up his blood before he dies.
It's a blood thing?
It's a blood thing.
Right, if he loses the time blood.
The alien's blood is mixed with his blood. As long as he's got alien blood in him, I think
he'll always go back.
Anytime he dies, it'll respawn.
But he couldn't just like go off base and like live a peaceful life.
There is one day where he goes off base and he goes to a pub, and remember those old World War II veterans are there hanging out talking?
Yeah, and he says, I've been there more times than anyone can
He just
count.
then goes back. He doesn't like go AWOL permanently. He returns.
Does he go have a life? Or is it just when he goes to sleep?
No, he goes back to the base that night, and then at some point,
shoots himself in
the head, and then the day restarts. Yeah,
I don't know about this. I think there might be a timeline where maybe he had an entire life and then dies, and then I'm back at the base.
No, but the world is like he doesn't. I feel like the war is going so badly that the world doesn't have that long left.
I just think that this character,
like he couldn't live another 40 years and the war would just end.
I feel like this character would have found a way to like go to Samoa.
But then as soon as he dies, it's gonna respawn anyways. He's gonna have to do it again.
He lives out the entire plot of the movie Cocktail, and then he dies and wakes up back.
He goes he gets Wilford Brimley old. He dies, then he goes back and respawns on the base again. Yeah. What would be the point of that?
That's the beauty of time loop movies, is all the ones you miss, you know?
Right.
All right, keep going.
Pitching his life story to strangers.
The longer I talk, the more rational it's going to appear. The longer I talk, the more rationally it's going to appear.
It's also
And
when he talks about
most crucially,
Scientology.
spitting game at Emily Blunt.
Okay, now OT level 7.
So close. Okay, one more loop. She's playing Rita Vertasky, a strong woman. So even if she saves the world, anonymous dudes are gonna call her a bitch. Yeah, what has she done for us lately? Thrill at this amazing character who gets zero backstory except for her middle name.
Tell me your middle name. Hey.
Until the moment of vulnerability where we learn the hidden truth. Her real middle name.
My middle name is Rose.
But honestly, who cares? Emily Blunt push-up yoga plus a big sword. Shoot me in the face, mommy.
Wait. I think I'm okay.
So pause.
It's funny because her day
Oh, well, yeah, this is actually play that last part.
doesn't reset. She's going to prison. And
Yeah, pause. I always wondered what happened after she shot Tom Cruise in the head all those times. Did she have to just explain the dead body on the
or she
on the
just
floor of her training room.
or she just kills herself right after that.
Oh, that's grim. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
well,
so.
right, she's not respawning, so it's
Yeah.
like her consciousness basically dead ends.
Wow, that's a big risk the first time you do it.
Every time, really.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and then her character, I mean, it's just a testament to the actress. She is just like, she was great. She's great,
yeah.
And she did so much with, I think, a very thin character description.
Yeah, I feel like this was the role. Emily Blunt, like, people already liked Emily Blunt, but she was like, she was being like period movies or rom-coms, like Devil Wears Prada Emily Blunt. I feel like this was the one where you could now put Emily Blunt in anything and people will be like, oh, great. And, like, we accepted her in all these other genres like overnight because she was so convincing in this one.
And this, the manga, as I've come to understand, she's a much more prominent character. It's about the two of them. They can both loop at any time or something like that. And it's a lot about their relationship and their back and forth and their love and loss and stuff like that. So she gets a lot more a backstory in that. So
I feel like this works pretty well for a movie. I'm glad this is another one that we were talking before the show about, like, our movie for next week, which I won't specify. It's a little long. This one's it's like a full 2 hours, I think, but it feels tight. It doesn't feel like it's drawn out. It feels like you get to everything and it's like paced really well. And I feel like that might have affected the pacing.
I think it's a great the third act, like the whole last 30-40 minutes, even though, and we have questions about the ending and how it works. It's really effective that they pull the rug out from under you where, like, time loop's over. And that's a great way to raise the stakes in a time loop movie, is like, oh, you don't have that safety net that we've been relying on
now.
For the first half of the
for the
movie.
rest of it, you've got
get
one
it right
life.
this time. Yeah, one life left. All right, keep going. We'll get to that part.
In humanity's war against the mimic gimmick, aliens who prove those flying spaghetti monster nerds were right all along. We'll throw everything we've got at these hentai parodies of Michael Bay's Transformers, except for using nukes, missiles, artillery, tanks, jets, or non-Europeans. Instead, relying on crappy mech suits with confusing controls that run out of batteries in less than a day, fall apart the moment you hit the ground,
I love that detail.
glitch out on the battlefield, and sink like a stone in water. Okay, who got the government contract for these death traps? Tesla?
All right. Thank you.
So get ready.
Pause.
Elon's. Thank you. That's so hilarious. The timing of it is so funny.
Comedy.
All right, it's a fake robot, everybody.
I mean, I guess the explanation in universe is because it worked for Rita, they think it works for everyone. Like, because she must have single-handedly won that battle, that they're like, okay, this is working well.
Yes, they don't understand the mechanics of the time loop thing.
Yeah.
So they just think, well, if we put the
Enough
right
people.
badass in the right mech suit at the right time, we can win this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just never told anyone.
Well, I think she
No one would ever
realizes,
believe you.
right? It's
Yeah.
like there's no way to tell people and not end up in a padded room.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just don't tell anybody.
Okay, so there's your explanation for why everyone's in these completely shoddy,
Yeah, really, really glitchy.
individual, like, infantry mech suits. It
But
seems
it's like-
to add absolutely nothing in terms of
Yeah.
protection or strength or anything.
It was all part of the Brain Bug's fiendish plan. It was like, let them think they can win with their stupid mech suits, and then we can easily just roll right over them.
smart brain bug.
See, Neil Patrick Harris needs to put his hand on there. And
It's
figure
afraid.
Out it's afraid.
Keep going.
Sergeant Rivers is the best.
Action thriller that skips right to the good parts, using its time loop premise as a narrative fast-forward button.
What next, little, PT?
Because this is a training montage disguised as a movie, where Cage goes from regular schlub to super soldier faster than a sitcom actor joining the MCU.
I'm not even trained for combat.
What's next?
Straight shot.
And even gets to plan all of his elaborate heists off-screen.
This guy with the yellow armband always recognizes you, so just keep your head down and stay to my right.
But to be fair, if you don't have Ryan Reynolds quipping your ear off the whole time, these things do go a lot faster.
Check. Roger Dodger. What's your 20 free bird?
You don't have to do
Pause.
that. I'm standing right next.
I would just like to say that this is funnier than Red Notice.
Yes.
Or any really, like, quippy, well, not every quippy action movie, but it's funny without having a quipster in the entire cast.
Because they're reacting. It's funny because people are reacting organically to the world around them and their experiences.
They're not like letting you know that they're an actor in a movie.
Yeah,
reminding you that this is a movie.
I like Fletch, the Chevy Chase movie Fletch, but we're in a period where every movie is just trying to be Fletch.
It's fletching out.
There's a movie happening, and then there's a guy standing like outside the movie being like, look at this movie.
Yeah.
Can you believe these idiots in this movie? And like, that's funny when Fletch does it because almost every other movie was not like that.
Right.
But I feel like we're now in a world where everyone wants to be Fletch all the time, and some people have to be Tim Matheson. You can't all be Fletch.
I mean, it is a reaction to, I think, the
bad guy Fletch.
The ultra sincerity of, I'd say, 80s and 90s action cinema, which was like in Face Off, they are in that movie.
Yes.
And obviously 80s action movies, like there is not a lick of humor. So I think this pendulum now has to swing back the other way because in the 2000s in comic book film and everything, everyone has been meta and outside the film and commenting on how crazy it is. And like, I'm actually like literally on Instagram right now in this movie looking at things that you're looking at on your couch, and we're talking about that instead.
I'm right. I think we're all kind of tired of that, like super tongue-in-cheek, ironic. Everything is like a wink, elbow you in the ribs. Movies, am I right?
Man.
And I think like that. The Top Gun Maverick stuff to me, like a lot of the big movies that have been really successful recently, I feel like are that. Like it's this more authentic experience that's more.
But I'm just saying that it's possible to make an action movie with jokes, with comedy in it, without resorting to a smart aleck, rapid talking heist machine named what's the Red Notice character's name? John Red.
Who even knows? Yeah, it's like Frank Notice.
Frank Notice. Named Frank Notice.
It's not. Nobody's named Notice.
I don't even. Careful there, Rock. You're gonna crush your Tamagotchi.
Did you
remember that?
Did you really think I was gonna remember Ryan Reynolds' character's name?
I mean, you are a Red Notice aficionado.
Oh man, I have no Carter.
Carter Notice.
Carter Notice. And Gal Gadot, her character has like a name. It's like she's like the Bishop or something.
The Bishop.
And
Bishop? I think The Rock's name is John something, but it's a fake name because he's actually Mr. Bishop.
He's also the Bishop.
Half
of the bit.
Yeah. All right, go to the net.
I'm so sad. I'm sad now. Is that still happening? Are they making Red Notice too? Is that like on hold now?
Nolan Booth. How can you forget Nolan Booth? Keep Nolan.
Nolan Booth, of course.
Oh, and don't forget Sotto Voce.
Oh, right, Sotto Voce. Well, that's a whole character now. A lot of Red Notices have a like character, and their bit is they're like vaguely foreign, like they're from somewhere else, but like they're not from a specific foreign place. They're just like foreign. And
I love this. I love this YouTube video that pops up as the suggested result is Ryan Reynolds annoying The Rock for 4 minutes straight. I think that's a good encapsulation of Red Notice.
Ryan Reynolds annoying me.
Anyways, Deadpool 3. Can't wait. All right. Keep going.
Now, if Cajun Rita can somehow nail 24 hours of chunky robot choreo.
Hold! Okay, go!
They'll blow up the mimic brain and go back 2 days earlier because, did I miss the loop that explains the ending? No? Well, whatever. We win!
Pause.
Starring.
I didn't even look into
explanation. I haven't looked it up, but I have a theory.
Okay.
So we see Cruz blows up the mimic brain, and he dies.
Yeah.
But we see the blood again.
The mimic
underwater.
blood.
We see the blood. So he's got the power again, and with no more alien, he's the only one now with the power. So I think maybe subconsciously
he's got the power, but does he have the touch?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
See, he went back in time. He met Stan Bush.
Yeah.
Anyway, my theory is he now has the ultimate control over time loop powers, and whether consciously or not, in his dying moments, he chose to jump back 2
Yeah, I was wondering,
full
it's like,
days.
is that the day that the brain bug resets to, when the brain bug messes up?
No, I think now he's resetting time, and the brain
will.
bug is dead.
Okay.
So we're going to go retake that whole day, but the aliens are all mysteriously gone, and life can restart.
All right. All right, I'll accept it. That's canon.
But it's the reason is because it's before he goes AWOL and gets in trouble, and so it's all that gets blotted away. He's a major in good standing, and that's why he went back the extra day, I think.
And then he still goes onto base to stare at
Well, I think he's going to
Emily
try
Blunt.
to like, hey.
Hey.
I think he's going to try to start over
Hello,
and like see if he can
Rose.
get this person to like him.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. Keep going.
Tom and Tom again. Damn, this blunt hits hard. Forbidden ramen.
Pause. I really hope that somebody making a mixtape uses that soundbite. Damn, this blunt hits hard.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
Anyways, carry on.
That's it, man. Day over, man. Day over.
My Tom can beat up your Tom. Bad Chiefs of Inisherin, The Expendables, and Tom Cruise when he dreams about going to therapy.
Just take some niacin, man.
Alien War, any percent speed run, new world record. Oh wait, let's see. Live, die, rename. Starship Loopers, or how about Saving Private Dying? wait, no. Groundhog Slay.
There you go.
I like Groundhog Slay.
Your name is Nance. You're Bibble. Kimmel. Ford. Skinner. Griff.
This is only his second time through the day, and he remembers everyone's name. That's the most impressive feat in the whole film.
I gotta say, yeah, given all the other shit that happened that day, to be like, well, Lon, Frank,
It's true.
Seymour, Marge.
I feel
No,
like
I'm just
Tom.
kidding.
I feel like Tom Cruise really does this. I feel like this is how you become Tom Cruise. He's got a mnemonic device to remember people's names.
He definitely does
Yeah.
that politician trick or
yeah,
whatever,
right.
he does.
He's got a Gary following him.
Or
around.
he's just got,
like in Veep.
an OT7 in his ear,
Yeah,
in
that's
his
what I'm saying.
earpiece.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like he's got a Luther in the van.
This is Spencer Gilbert. He writes Honest Trailers.
He's got Benji or Luther at all times.
Yes, Bing Rames is in a van outside of wherever Tom Cruise is going.
Speaking of which, the Mission Impossible by the Numbers is out as well. Go check that video out. You can find out how many Luther man in a van scenes there are.
That's a lot.
Plus
yeah.
or minus 4. Yeah.
I feel like it's
make a bet.
in Ving Rhames' contract that he doesn't have to get out of the
Does
van
not have to
anymore.
stand
Yeah.
at any point. So yeah, check that out. Hit like and subscribe if you like more of this. We'll be doing more of it. And let's watch some outtakes.
So get ready for a sci-fi take on G.I. Joe, where knowing in advance is half the battle. That's basically just Starship Troopers with time travel, minus any deeper message or satire.
This is the brain. It controls them all.
But if loving sci-fi alien invasion movies that look exactly like World War II is wrong, who wants to be right?
We're fixing to invade France.
We need to figure out a way to get us off that beach.
Tomorrow, we advance on the Western Front.
Starring Looper Hero, Caged Heat, Build a Wall. Despite all my rage, I am still just a time-hopping cage. He's an ass, sir, major ass. Jack Repeater, Lovely Rita Slade, Emily Blunt Force Trauma, Emily in Paris, Lovely Rita Massive Blade, Matrix Regurgitations, Maniac Mansion Returns,
There's an evil tentacle.
right? I hate it myself. Killer Bill, Action Paxton, Sergeant Slaughter, Kentucky Died Quicken, Bad and Commander, Bad Guy Moody, Soldiers of Fortune Teller, Third Eye Joe, Black Max, Chrono Triggered, Louvre Actually.
Third week in,
This is a terrific presentation. Terrific.
Hey, don't do the bit making fun of how everyone has little multimedia presentations set up to explain the movie. That's our bit.
there you go.
Really
yeah.
ripped off our bit there.
Yeah, come on.
It's supposed to be blank mechs, like blank checks, not black mechs.
Oh, that must have been a typo. That no wonder. I was like, what does that even
doesn't
mean?
really make sense otherwise, but okay.
Whoops. Let's see. So, let's get into questions. There's some good ones here. Luis Valenzuela, thoughts on the Wonka trailer? I thought it looked pretty good. Maybe a Willy Wonka origin could work. I have not seen the Wonka trailer.
I didn't
All right,
watch
well,
it. I saw.
next.
I didn't even know they released trailer. I just saw that image of Timothy with the little Hugh Grant Oompa Loompa in the little
I
glass
haven't
cage.
even seen that. That sounds great.
It's real. That's a real image.
It's real. It's spectacular.
Yeah.
Benjamin Abramowitz, is this the longest time you've had between a movie's release date and its honest trailer date? And what do you think are the most requested films that don't have an honest trailer yet? First question is no, because we've done plenty
We've
of
done
things
older
like, Yeah,
movies,
we've
yeah.
done stuff from the 70s.
Japanese Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Superman 4. There's got to be. Have we ever? What's the oldest film I think we've done? We got to do like Citizen Kane, and we got to get into.
Yeah,
the
we should
real
do more
classics
like
someday.
actual classics. I feel like
Casablanca.
maybe the first Star Wars,
For Star Wars, yeah.
77. That's
Yeah.
probably pretty early. Jaws.
Like
we haven't done Jaws.
Mary Poppins, like some of the original Disney
Oh,
animated stuff.
yeah, okay, yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Most requested films that don't have an on Australia yet. I know, like the Daredevil.
Yeah,
Netflix
Daredevil
thing.
season 1
We-
is like the number one of all time.
Yeah. There might be something related to Daredevil coming up that we might break the glass on that one, and then gosh, I don't know. I don't know what's the most requested yet.
Yeah, I feel like if stuff's requested for long enough, we
get to it.
Just do it.
Yeah,
like
we'll do
we try to listen to you all.
Yeah, there's someone keeps requesting the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh yeah, I think I have seen that. That would be fun, but nobody
Maybe
who remembers
Yeah.
it, who's
Some
seen
way-
it and remembers.
There will
it.
be a week where it's like, well, what else is happening? Nothing. All right, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Like it's
baby. Let's do it
bad,
again.
but I don't remember why it's
yeah,
bad.
I haven't seen it. So
I've
yeah.
rewatched it in many years.
Samuel Furman, swap the lead roles for Barbie and Oppenheimer. Which are you now more excited to see?
Wow, I'm gonna go ahead and say I strongly feel like Margot Robbie
Oppenheimer
could play J. Robert Oppenheimer in a way that was interesting. I'm not convinced Cillian Murphy could
be
do
Barbie.
Maybe. He's a talented guy. I don't know.
Well, I
don't
would
wanna
be
say
probably
that.
more interested to see how he pulls it off, because I feel like Margot's Oppenheimer. I don't know. I feel like the Nolan, no offense, but he can kind of flatten the actors into kind of like the place he wants them to be, where it's like,
What if she did
look very
Oppenheimer-
haunted?
What if she did Oppenheimer entirely in the Harley Quinn voice, though?
Mr. Einstein. I don't know if the
Have I
quarks
sold
go over
you?
there,
Have
Mr.
I-
Einstein.
Have I sold you?
Just like swinging a big mallet
Yeah.
on
Mr.
Roosevelt.
J,
Yeah.
now I am become dead.
Okay, good. Bringing it back around, Luis Valenzuela. You guys see the Deadpool 3 photos? We got the yellow spandex. We're finally leaving.
We did it.
We did it,
We
folks.
did it, folks.
Cinema achieved.
Did you see that there's apparently a scene where Deadpool and Wolverine are fighting in their iconic comic book outfits in front of like a Planet of the Apes dystopian 20th Century Fox. Like they have a 20th Century Fox logo that's like crumbling
Yeah.
and so I feel like we know what the whole bit is. It's
Look-
like he kills the Fox
The studio, yeah.
universe, you know?
Right. Look, I think we've been too harsh on Ryan Reynolds / Deadpool because I do think that it is the best, maybe one of the better executions of the meta humor genre is Deadpool.
The first Deadpool, sure. Okay.
Yes, and it's like a good match of actor and role, etc. It's the problem is that everything has become Deadpool.
Right. It's not Deadpool's fault that everyone else wants to be Deadpool.
I am become Deadpool, destroyer of film.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that Deadpooling has become a genre of film and a genre of character that we're sick of. So I'm, hopefully they bring something new to it. But the fact that it's like, remember this, who did they talk about bringing
Garner,
back? Jennifer
Elektra.
Garner's Elektra.
Elektra Nachios returning.
Yeah. And it's like, that is, I'm sorry, I lived through Elektra. That is nothing. I am not excited for that to return.
I'm assuming it'll be a joke about how everybody hated those
Yeah.
movies, but like we've done that. We did that with Green Lantern already. We did that. We just did it with Amazing Spider-Man, and like I'm just like
The problem about comedy is it's only funny the first time.
they want to keep trying to do.
That's why comedy sequels are usually never good because they're repeating the same jokes.
Yeah, this is just the same bit we've now seen a bunch of times, and
Meanwhile, this is episode 500 and something of Honest Trailers commentaries. We'll keep making them if you keep watching.
That's right. We're hypocrites.
All right, let's move on to another question. Let's see. James Bunt, what major life event would you want to be stuck in the same day over and over again?
Wow.
Is there a day of your life that you'd be
None.
like, none?
I mean, I guess like there were some days better than others.
Today was a good day.
Yeah, like I don't like not a work day. I would pick like a vacation day, or like I took a cruise once. We went to St. Martin. I spent the whole day, like by a beach, like in the Caribbean. Like
That's nice.
that was a nice day.
But by loop 10,000, you're like, can I get like a burger? I'm sure you could get a burger.
You could get a
Caribbean.
burger
Yeah,
in St.
but
Martin.
I'm just saying, maybe
Yes.
I would not pick an island.
Yeah, that's true. Although self-contained adventure. Like that's the sort of thing like you would Groundhog Day. You would meet everyone on that island and get to know them really well, and like it would become like a community in one day for you.
Now the time loop premise, as you know, is based on the Nietzschean idea of eternal recurrence.
Sure.
So that is the thing that I'm going to mangle it, but it's the idea that you should live every day as if you have to live that day eternally for the rest of your life. And that is the standard that you should hold your days to.
Yeah.
Which seems like a lot of work, Nietzsche.
It does.
Yeah.
Really. A lot of those old philosophers had like these very exacting, like if you read Immanuel Kant, it's like this formula for everything you've got to do.
Right,
like,
you got to do that.
Is this action moral or not? You have to like take all these things into consideration. Like I got things to do,
Yeah.
Emmanuel. You could just sit around all day and think about this stuff, but I got a job.
I do now, just hearing that name, want to see Emmanuel swapping out the Emmanuel Cinemax series.
Yeah.
Emmanuel in space.
It's just like a weird little German guy going to space, and he's got lots of
Emmanuel,
opinions.
King of philosophy.
Yes, okay. Critique of outer space sensuality.
Okay, so, all right, one more question.
Wow.
Fine, I want to sign off on that, but
Luckily, we've got the smartest, most erudite audience on the internet. They're loving this Kantian philosophy discussion.
James, let's end with Ben's 10. What's your favorite Tom Cruise stunt, and what do you think is the most impressive one?
Ooh, great question.
Yeah.
I feel like in the theater, I don't know if it's number one, but in the theater, when you saw it in IMAX, Ghost Protocol with the outside, the skyscraper in Dubai sequence.
Yeah.
That's a real showstopper sequence because you get that vertigo, tightness in your chest feeling of being really high up. And it's visceral in a way I think a lot of other scenes maybe aren't.
To me, it's the breath holding one because that's just insane. Like I can fathom, skydiving or having to hang off of a building, just given like normal human capabilities, but holding your breath for that long while you're doing an action scene as an actor gave me that like claustrophobia, I'm drowning feeling.
Yeah.
But my favorite one is still the first Mission Impossible rope hang when he's stealing the knock list.
Right, the knock
because there's
list,
just so many things going on with the floor and the bead of sweat and the rat with John Reno.
De Palma, such a master, a master of suspense, one of the greatest living suspense filmmakers, and it's just like a signature sequence.
And the silence of it, where he just
right.
Oh, so good. So that's my favorite. That's still my favorite. All right. Next week we'll be back. We'll be back with a blockbuster film, the culmination of a long journey and a long film that... Yeah,
there's been a lot of big movies this year that I feel like have underwhelmed, and this is one that didn't. The rare one that I think satisfied what we wanted from it.
I was definitely satisfied, maybe even over-satisfied. It's like when you make a mixtape, like maybe keep it to 12 songs instead of like 21, because, got to tell them how you feel through song, and maybe like you're kind of going on a little rambly, but still enjoyable. We'll be back next week for that. Thank you for watching Honest Trailers Commentaries. Bye-bye.